All right, so as I'm in the middle of doing this, I figured that I would actually make a video on it because, well, I posted two videos about my 2021 Prowler Pro Arctic Cat side by side, and I wanted to do some serious upgrading, so I sat down and researched for hours and hours and hours about how to get tracks on this thing and how I wanted to use it. And so I did a lot of reading and found out that a lot of guys, it's nice to have all four corners spinning, especially when you're in deeper snow with a track kit. So I went, okay, well, the Prowler Pro has a locker rear end. You can lock the rear end in, or you can open it for turf mode. And it also has four-wheel drive, but the front differential is actually open. So I started doing some research and found out that there is a front differential that I found after looking at exactly all the part numbers, the seal numbers and everything, to make sure everything matched before I spent the money to do this. And it was still a crapshoot anyway. But I did find a front differential that's the same gear ratio, same spline shaft input, same case housing size. This will bolt right in. And I just pulled the CV shaft on the one side of the front end of the machine here. I've got it up on my flat deck. You can't see it just yet, but I pulled the front passenger side CV shaft and slid it into this new front differential. And it slid right in. Tooth count's the same. Seals are the same size. The housings are the same. And the only thing you have to do is wire the fourth wire out of the actuator box, a black box on the side of the front differential. Wire that fourth wire up to your four-wheel drive switch and plug that into, I believe it's slot number 6. If you were to buy a Arctic Cat Wildcat front four-wheel drive switch that has the little upshift locking button to lock the front differential as well. So I'm going to do that here soon. But I figured I'd make a video on this. So if there's anybody out there that has a Prowler Pro that wants to have a locking front differential and, you know, wants to have tracks on one of these and such things, you know, I sat down, did all the research, and I've been looking at this. I have the brand new front differential sitting on the front of the trailer right now. Like I say, I've already tried it. Let me turn the camera and see if I can give you guys a good visual of kind of where I'm at right now. I got the whole front end tore apart. And I bought the Thumper Fabrication front control arms and the forward set control arms, and they bolted right on. They were a great setup. And I'm gonna keep those on there. The lift kit, I did the 3-inch lift, and I noticed that all the CV boots were getting so bent, especially the rear ones, because on these, as you Prowler Pro owners know, that the rear CV shaft system is not only set back, but it's augmented off, so where you're getting a lot of rub on your boots, on your CV boots. So when I put that lift kit on, it made it even worse, and I was blowing rear CV boots about every other trip. And I went and bought off of eBay. I found the stock part number and the band clamps and grease, and I bought 2 full kits. I've got like 10 of those freaking boot kits in my shed right now because of that. So I took the lift kit off, and I don't think I'm going to need it, but just, you know, that was my experience with the lift kit. The forward set control arms have allowed me to get 30-inch tires on here. I got the Aurora. Let's see here. I'll turn this around really quick here. I got the Aurora, whatever the heck they're called, from Chaparral Motorsports. They're 30 by 10 by 14s. They're pretty good tires. I mean, I'm not holding the camera right, but anyway, they're pretty decent tires. You know, 30-inch. And they seem to do really well. But anyway, let me turn this around really quick, and I'll show you the front end. I got it all tore apart. So So here's the front end. Here's the upper control arm up here, lower control arm. Obviously, these are Thumper Fab control arms. And like I say, they're a great product. But this four-wheel drive differential is open. And the one I bought looks just like it, has the same seal size, same tooth count, same inlet and everything. And the shaft input is the same. So what I'm going to do is, and also this is a 3.1 gear ratio. So the new one is also a 3.1 gear ratio. So all that matches as well. And what we're looking at here is the new front differential. Now, it has the same input as the Prowler Pro, and it also has the same seal sizes as the Prowler Pro, and gear input and everything. Tooth splines, the whole bit. Also, these bolt holes right here and right here, they work perfect. They're exactly where they need to be. And the only difference is that inside of here, inside of this spot, there's a fork that actuates to connect this to the shaft in here, which connects your four-wheel drive together. This has the extra side piece right here that locks the front end together, so you get both tires spinning, and you can get rear tires spinning too. Like I say, I just tried that half shaft, that CV shaft in here, and it clicked right in, locked in, and the seal looked tight, everything looked perfect. So I believe that that's going to fit. And just as a quick reference here, so here's the part number. If you Prowler Pro guys want a locking front differential, you need to go on to a place like Country Cat, or go to your dealer or somebody that might have these parts hanging around. And so this is actually, if you look up a 2019 Arctic Cat Altera 700, I believe it's a XT, it has the same exact front differential as the Prowler Pro. It's a 3.1 gear ratio. And here's the part number, okay? So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swing the camera around and show the part number, so that way you guys can pause it in the video and write it down if you want, on a chunk of paper, or put it in your phones or your iPads or whatever electronics you got nowadays. So here, let me see if I can get a close-up on that. See if that focuses. I know my hands aren't very steady, but there. Yeah, and the part number is 2502-705. And the serial number is 538. Gear ratio, obviously it says it on there, 3.1. So we know that the gear ratio is proper for this machine. And like I say, all I wanted to do was add a front locking feature, which this differential has. So I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to finish tearing the front end off of this thing. I'm going to get the new front differential in there, get the shafts on, get fluids in it, and then the hardest part is going to be wiring it. I bought a 4-pin waterproof harness that was already built. That way I can cut the wires, splice them, solder them, make sure everything's nice and tight. That way I can unplug it and remove that differential if I want, without having to cut a bunch of wires later on down the road. And then I will take I bought a four-wheel drive Arctic Cat Wildcat switch, which is the exact same switch that's on the dash. It just has the extra locking feature. And all I got to do is run one wire up, plug it into that pin position with a spade, and I'm off and running. And it looks factory, and nobody's the wiser. It's a good, clean job. So anyway, I'm going to cut this video off for right now, and I'm going to get that in there, and then I'll start a video back up of everything put in there to show you that, hey, this works. You know, everything works. So anyway, I'll be loading this up to YouTube here probably today, maybe tomorrow. But I just wanted to kind of share this knowledge with people. I don't know if anybody else knows about this or not. You know, I live up in rural Alaska, so getting parts for me is kind of difficult. It either comes by plane or barge. So Anyway, I'll get back with you. All right, so continuation of the fucking last video. I'm gonna splice these two together at some point. I just got the front differential in and everything bolts in. So this is 100% doable. So like I said in the last video, like I said, I'm gonna probably splice these together anyway, so you'll have the part numbers. But anyway, if you go over over to here, I've got the whole differential all bolted in. I haven't done the wiring just yet. But when my switches and everything come in, I'll probably do another video about that. And I wanted to leave the other side undone because I can't get to the wiring with the shock and everything in the way. So, and I just put new ball joints in as well. But I can get to the wiring in the back, leaving all of this out of the way with the shock and strutting out of here. So I'm gonna leave this like this for now. And when I get the wiring and the pigtails like I was talking about before, then we'll be all set. So, all right, figure I'd let you guys know. Thanks.